Ogiba Ochichi Ieji Gejugi Wayo Tukasi Chukubi Mozo Jojo Iebu Mozo Buyani Anya Zoyani Genabi Ike Tukasi Chukubi Biafrans Tukasi Chukubi. Good morning to you anywhere you are watching this video, or if it is your first time of coming across this wonderful platform, Linda's TV show, you are highly welcome. If you like what we are doing here, if you like the kind of content we create here, kindly subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notification. This will enable you to know when we upload a new video. I want to put a disclaimer that here in Linda's TV show, we do not preach misleading information, hate speech, or violence. We are here to educate, inform, sanitize the members of the public about the happenings. In fact, I do not like hate speech. I do not like misleading information. I do not like violence, so I will never promote them here. The music that I just played now was dedicated by one of our brothers in support of Biafra restoration. And I played this in all my videos. Somebody came yesterday and said, that I'm claiming we put trust in God, but I am supporting and trusting the Prime Minister against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Well, I will just leave this thing like that. I will just ignore the person. But if you write this next time in my this thing, I'm going to answer you very well. And you wouldn't like the way I am going to answer you. I want to appreciate you too for creating this wonderful platform, and also remind them that a call for self-determination is not a call for war. Come again today to present another video. The first have met his Kekando Yibosa biko complete Elemia. Ifeanyi Uba Udo ejide goya Ifeanyi Uba Onya manaya. You will listen to this man. In fact, you will listen to the man that talked about him. I'm not going to narrate the story here. The second video is about Senegal newly elected president. You will hear and see what he tells Ndoli Nabi Ezurutsi Oilo. I was listening to his speech yesterday. I was like, why is it that this kind of thing cannot happen in Nigeria? They say revolution is taking place in all other African countries. Why is it not taking place in Nigeria? This is the question we should ask ourselves. And I beg you to contribute, criticize, but always do it constructively after listening. Thank you so much. Until I come your way again, I am still your one and only Linda's TV show.
And stuff like that. I said, am I dead? The person that owns this money is alive. If I propagating people that I want to take over his asset.
Okay, Doctor,
I can imagine how pain he is. But so I want let's clarify this angle. Does it mean that the consignment did not arrive Nigeria, or it arrived and was sold but the money was not remitted?
This is a story only Ifeanyi Uba can tell, which he has refused to tell anybody. But our conclusion is that this consignment did not arrive. Our conclusion, and from the way this game had played, is that he connived with the vessel owner and sold these goods offshore. Okay? That's because we didn't see if this consignment come. He would follow the normal procedure. The agent Vibra Venture would have followed to go and load it. Even he didn't follow him to load it. If he has brought it on his own, he would have sold it and the proceeds would have been in the bank. But to make this matter worse, Ifeanyi had claimed SDN, sovereign debt note, on this 4 cargo that we did not see, worth over 5.something billion. So he went ahead and have 2 sons-in-law for 1 daughter. That is not my concern. If government is not willing to hold him for any illegal thing, at least I can be alive for hard work that I've done for 38 years to see if I destroy it for nothing.
All right, Doctor, you obviously are very, distressed about this and really angry. And I must understand your pain, having worked all your life to get to this point. Now, a lot of they say your reputation, Ifeanyi Uba's reputation precedes him, and a lot of people have actually accrued him as intellectually shallow. and has no business acumen whatsoever.
Of course.
Now, all this, you know, commentaries coming from different people and even banks about Ifeanyi Uba, knowing all of this that you knew and seeing the downward trend of the business, you know, from pillar to post, always asking people for help. Yeah. You know, one would wonder that, like you say, you're a risk taker. One would wonder what were the palliatives you kept aside for this sort of event.
Let me make it clear. Like I said, I never really get to know Ifeanyi in that depth knowledge until this business happened. You know, it's just like you meet somebody and everybody is saying uncomplimentary things about that person.
Yes.
I like to give people benefit of the doubt. Growing up as a young man, I am somewhat less stressed. If you see me driving a bike, you think I'm going to die the following day. But there was something in me trying to discover itself. So I felt Ifeanyi was in that position. Okay? The way I have viewed life is that somebody needs to play a role in somebody's life. And I've always believed that our life is only worth living if you can help somebody. Please understand where I'm coming from. This guy standing here has a first-class blend. If I have gone to school, I never believe I would have made anything less than first. My father died and nobody was able to pay for my school fees. I stopped in a school in elementary 3.
And see where you are today.
But I refuse to give up on myself. My idea is that what happened to you does not matter but what happens in you. I determined that I'm going to make success out of life. When I met Ifeanyi, I said, what it is? I said, Ifeanyi, your name is Ifeanyi. Means nothing is impossible to God. My name is Madabuchukwu. Man is not God. After, when I finish with all the people that says evil thing about you, they are going to take back their words. I never believed this guy will stab me at the back.
Okay, Doctor, let me ask you this now. What steps have you taken to ensure that Ifeanyi Uba fulfills his obligation to you and the bank?
That's what I've done. Of course, Ifeanyi, I am the primary obligor to the bank. But as smart businessman as I am, I also put some things in place. One of the things I did, even though I borrowed on a negative pledge, I got Ifeanyi to guarantee this loan that I'm taking. I made him so that I can hook him in. So the bank can also go after him on official means, assuming if I cannot pay. Okay? I have the capacity, frankly. Let's not make mistake about this. But Bill Gates cannot walk away from $150 million. Donald Trump cannot walk away. Aliko Dangote cannot walk away. Neither will Adenuga did. All these guys are 10 times, 100 times richer than myself. So I can't walk away from $150 million. And that's why I'm going to hunt. If any gold that entered Ifeanyi will enter me. Ifeanyi is playing a sympathy game. You know, we want to take over his business.
Oh, please.
Listen, no, I want to make this comment. I'm a Christian, and the Bible says if you can't pay your loan, your wife, your children become a slave to the man you are owing. He will lose everything he has if he doesn't pay me. I'm going to follow every constitutional right available to me. I will use it to get him to pay. I've sued him on his worldwide asset in London. I've gotten an interim judgment to go after the vessel. We have seized 2 of the vessels in South Africa. I'm tracing the remaining ones. So this money didn't disappear in a thin air. It's hiding somewhere in an account somewhere in the world. He wanted to maybe use it to do the governorship of Anambra State. I will find my money wherever he keep it. And I am primarily obligated to the bank, okay, but that doesn't stop me to look for my money. If I don't know who steal my thing, I will be but now I saw the person, I know who the thief is. So I can't beat the butch. I'll follow him. Any gold that entered him will enter me. If I told me nothing can happen to him in this country, if it can happen, I said, you can't talk like that. Something will happen to you. If you do wrong, the system will hold you responsible. There's people in the top supporting you. They should give me money to pay the debt.
All right, let me hold you there. I think you should calm down a little. I know that you're really upset. No, just calm down. Take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath and let it out. I know how you must feel. But you've talked about impunity. You've talked about him saying that, you know, that there, you know, there's nothing can happen to him in this country. Of course, we know that is what happens and pretends in Nigeria, especially when you are some sort of have some sort of immunity from people who are people in the Nigerian politics. But let's go back to this. According to some reports, it was said that you went ahead and asked him to release 56.568.587 liters of petrol that was in his tank farm,
right.
and so that you could be able to sell this thing and, you know, pay back the bank. But he refused. Why do you think that is?
That is up to him. In fact, he refused. There's this dedicated tank we have. As I speak today, we had about 56,000 liters of PMS inside it. But Ifeanyi can, usual thing is that he will pay money and we will release that product for him to sell. He didn't pay. We could go in there and sell, but he refused our tank to come in there to be able to sell the product. All of these are reported to the police. Okay, I can't take laws into my hands, and that's why I'm crying out that the people in authority should get Ifeanyi to question, bring him even here, so I can say the things I'm saying face to face to him and let him discredit any of the things that I'm saying. The issue is that where is this consignment? We are talking about the ones that is in the tank, because the total consignment we are looking for from him is over 180,000 metric tons of PMS, which is over $200 and something million. Where is this consignment? Did the ship that carrying it got sink? If it did, please show us. Let's know where it is. We can claim on insurance. Did it caught fire? We will take the insurance company to go and show them there's an insurance cover on this so they can pay. Bank had bill lading. The original bill ladings are still with the bank. Which documents did they find used to clear this consignment if he did come to Nigeria? So you can see our conclusion that the consignment did not come to Nigeria. Because if he say he did come to Nigeria, then he must have forged documents to go and clear them.
Okay. Let me
because the original documents is still with the bank.
Okay. Let me ask you this. This is Africa. We are Nigerians, and we are brothers keeper. Did you ever, at any point in time, reach out to people, others, statesmen, your community, where community it comes from, to reach out to them to see if you can settle this amicably?
Initially, Ifeanyi asked me to please carry this clause for him. He told me, he said, if I can't pay you, I'll take my life. I give him to this. He seems initially committed to pay, because that was when, after this, when I now noticed he wasn't paying, I close up on him. I said, Ifeanyi, you can't do this. Then he said, okay, he will make arrangement to pay. But I've been hearing this story. So I said, okay, what do you have that you can give me so I can hold as a comfort? This, when he opened the LC, the cargo, the PMS supposed to be the guarantee for this means of repayment. But when we see now that these goods are not coming, obviously something had happened. That was when he gave me some of his vessels. I had some of his vessels, you know, sign off on it to me. Some of his tugboats. Then he told me he had a land in Banana Island. I made him to sign off on it, like sold. I have the papers. But I don't need these things, because I did not finance vessel. I did not finance land in Lekki. I did not finance tugboat. He should take them back. What I need is, where is my product? Where is the consignment we finance for you? Let us sell the ones in the tank, since you are not ready to pay. If you don't find customer, I take customers there to carry them. They will pay me so I can reduce the money in the bank. He refuses. All
right, Doctor, we're running out of time. Now, I just want to ask a question. With all of this that you have given out as layouts, would you consider that you have been defrauded?
Of course not that I've been defrauded. Somebody has stolen my goods. It's a theft matter. It's a stealing. It's not defaulting. It's not that we did business, we made the loss. Somebody stole the consignment that we finance. We have a bill. It's an offense against the state. It's an international criminal act.
All right, I'll hold you to that. An international criminal act, Dr. Maduka has called it. And you would wonder, you know, when a brother's keeper becomes a brother's killer, this is what pretends. And it's unfortunate. Now he has said he's been defrauded. So the question, betrayal or fraud, I do know that you know the answer. We've been looking at
oppression, centuries of misery, human trafficking. It is high time for France to lift its knee off our neck and put an end to this unjust oppression. Centuries of misery, human trafficking, colonization, and neocolonization have caused immeasurable suffering. It's time to put an end to this cycle of oppression. It's high time for France to leave us alone. It's time for France to take a cue from its European neighbors and learn a valuable lesson in oppression. Centuries of misery, human trafficking, colonization, and neocolonization have caused immeasurable suffering. It's time to put an end to this cycle of oppression. It's high time for France to leave us alone. It's time for France to take a cue from its European neighbors and learn a valuable lesson in independence. Germany is the leading economic power in Europe, significantly surpassing France, which is ranked as the third or fourth largest economic power globally. Germany does not exploit any country, any colony. I can mention Italy, I can mention Spain, who had colonies before, but who do not exploit anyone, who do not interfere, who do not impose leaders in their former colonies. On what grounds does France believe it can continue to impose leaders on us and make choices on our behalf? This must come to an end. And the emerging Africa, the African youth, the African elites, and the African diaspora all stand united in saying no, it cannot continue any longer. France's hypocrisy is evident and pervasive in daily life. Let's examine the cases of Mali and Chad as prime examples of this hypocrisy. In Chad,
are you people telling me that this guy, is the new Senegal president? Huh? This guy, this young dude. Huh? The youths are taking up the mantles. The youths are taking what belongs to them. The youths are no more waiting for our protruding daddies. The youths are no more believing that what an old man saw sleeping under the gutter. When a child climbs Iroko tree, the child will not see it. Yeah, gone are those days of lies. Good evening, mothers. Good evening, fathers. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Good evening, well-wishers. And good evening, you gorgeous friends. Good evening. Hey, this thrills me. I said, let me just look for a video to play, only for me to stumble on this one. So please, let me see. Let me go again.
It is high time for France to lift its knee off our neck and put an end to this unjust oppression. Centuries of misery, human trafficking, colonization, and neocolonization have caused immeasurable suffering. It's time to put an end to this cycle of oppression. It's high time for France to leave us alone. It's time for France to take a cue from its European neighbors and learn a valuable lesson in independence. Germany is the leading economic power in Europe, significantly surpassing France, which is ranked as the third or fourth largest economic power globally.
He's not yet a president, though. They said, listen to the new president of Senegal. He is telling France. He's speaking in English. Okay. He wants you to know that you are not the only one that knows how to speak English. Senegalese president, young guy, young lad. Hey, I'm telling us.
It is high time for France to lift it.
I like sitting in that my little cubicle. This place, I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable here.
Knee off our neck and put an end to this unjust oppression. Centuries of misery, human trafficking, colonization, and neocolonization have caused immeasurable suffering. It's time to put an end to this cycle of oppression. It's high time for France to leave us alone. It's time for France to take a cue from its European neighbors and learn.
It's time to leave us a. He should take a cue from his neighbors.
A valuable lesson in independence. Germany is the leading economic power in Europe, significantly surpassing France, which is ranked as the third or fourth largest economic power globally. Germany does not exploit any country, any colony. I can mention Italy, I can mention Spain, who had colonies before, but who do not exploit anyone, who do not interfere, who do not impose leaders in their former colonies.
I'm telling you.
On what grounds does France believe it can continue to impose leaders on us and make choices on our behalf? This must come to an end. And the emerging Africa, the African youth, the African elite,
this guy
and the African diaspora.
Nah, quiet.
It is.
This guy is just... This guy is busting my brain. I can't shout. What a one? Africans are waking up, guys. African unite. Can I play the song? African unite. Africans are uniting. Imagine this young lad. Okay. Hey. The new president of Senegal. The new Senegalese president, a young lad. Where are all those our fathers, protruding bellies, what they saw, sitting, lying down? We cannot see them climbing Kilimanjaro. That is why African continent is what it is today, because of our old fathers that are often lying to us, telling us that what they are seeing, sitting down, sleeping, we will not see even climbing Kilimanjaro Iroko tree. But this age, okay, at this dispensation, we are telling them that if they climb that Iroko tree and Kilimanjaro 100 times, they will not see what we are seeing. Imagine a young, small guy, Senegalese guy. He wants to finish them all. He's speaking in English. Okay. Speaking in English. How I wish somebody would be this strong. Somebody will be this strong. Okay. To speak on behalf of, I know the place now, once giant of Africa. Okay. Look at young lads. These people are taking the steps of Chief Tremazen Namodekano. These people are taking the steps of the finisher. Mazi Samuel Ekpanjokon. Look at young guy. Hey, dear friends. When you see a responsible man, you know. Look at him. Correct guy. Did you see? No Rastafarian on his head. No piercing. No rubbing gel for him to look cool. He is natural. He's fighting for his country. He's fighting for his country. Senegalese president.
High time for France to lift its knee off our neck and put an end to this unjust oppression. Centuries of misery, human trafficking, colonization, and neocolonization have caused immeasurable suffering. It's time to put an end to this cycle of oppression. It's high time for France to leave us alone. It's time for France to take a cue from its European neighbors and learn a valuable lesson in independence. Germany is the leading economic power in Europe, significantly surpassing France, which is ranked as the third or fourth largest economic power globally. Germany does not exploit any country, any colony. I can mention Italy, I can mention Spain, who had colonies before, but who do not exploit anyone, who do not interfere, who do not impose leaders in their former colonies. On what grounds does France believe it can continue to impose leaders on us and make choices on our behalf? This must come to an end. And the emerging Africa, the African youth, the African elites, and the African diaspora all stand united in saying no, it cannot continue any longer. France's hypocrisy is evident and pervasive in daily life.
Hey.
Let's examine the cases of Mali and Chad as prime examples of this hypocrisy. In Chad, where the constitutional process has been interrupted, France applauded, and it...
Sai, come and see your boys, yo. Sai, come and see. They go to Kago. Sai, come and see this guy. Giving it to them, giving it to Osinawu Macron, or Osinawu Mackerel. Giving it to him with the bomb blast. They said they don't want them anymore. They said they do not want them anymore in our African continent. That is enough. It's Genuk. Okay. It's enough. Look at our African people. They are waking up. Our young lads. They are no more waiting for our fathers. They are no more saying, let's respect our elders. Because they have seen that our elders have failed us woefully. Our elders have belittled us woefully. Our elders, our young lad are taking up the mantles. Our young lad, our brothers. Imagine this guy, a Senegalese guy. But you need, he has to speak it in English. So that for all those people, all those English people that colonize the people that they colonize and they're victimizing, he wants them to be hearing as he speaks. Let him not only speak in French, so that they will say that they do not understand what he was saying. He spoke it, and look at look at his eloquence in speaking the English. A Senegalese guy. He's addressing who? The French government. Leave the African continent alone. You can go to Germany. You can go to other parts of Europe. Get whatever you want to get. You guys should leave Africa alone. Leave Africans alone. Leave us alone. And see if you all will not be begging to come to African continent. All these shady things we are doing here. Okay. All these jobs we are doing for you people here. We scavenge for who to do it for you people. When our African continent will be better, I can travel to Senegal. I will be respected and given the job that befits my qualification. I can go to Mali. I can go to Togo. I can go to Ghana. I can go to Cameroon. I need no visa. Do you understand me? When the whites are coming to African continent, nobody checkmates them. Nobody tell them, bring this, bring that. Okay. They go for their visa. One hand, they get their visa. Okay. No documents, no property land is being demanded from them. But when an African person is coming to Europe or America, oh my God, you have to tender your great-grandfather's land. You have to tender all the money that your generations banked. You have to tender. You have to bring all the documents that your 7th generations kept for you because you want to come. And after getting to the country, they will make you pass through hustles. You will pass through many rigors to become somebody. Imagine somebody that came when she or he was 20 years. Before you will get your feet, you are 30 years. Before you start walking, you are 45 years. Okay. Then you will see our aged mothers, our aged fathers. They are working tirelessly. just to put foods on their table. Okay, but when a junk come to African continent, the same day he or she is being given a position on to be given to their own citizens. If you give it to a junkie that was sleeping outside on the streets in his own country or in her own country. But when they come to African continent, they have 4 drivers. They go to the most exquisite town to rent a house. They don't rent, they buy. And your government will be supporting them. They can pursue you. They can pursue you, their own citizens. Huh? Just for the whites to take over. Okay. And now, my Africans are uniting. Africans unite. If you're good to us, we are good to you. You are good to us, we are good to you. You are bad to us, to your tent, O Israel. I love this guy.
And its president visited to officially connect and put an end to this unjust oppression. Centuries of misery, human trafficking, colonization, and neocolonization have caused immeasurable suffering. It's time to put an end to this cycle of oppression. It's high time for France to leave us alone.
Exactly.
It's time for France to take a cue from its neck and put an end.
Mali said the same thing. Now Senegal are saying the same thing. Okay. Oh my God. Nigeria will not say the same thing. Okay. Because they have found their succor in Nigeria. Yeah. They have found their succor there. Okay. Their abode is in Nigeria. And that is why Biafra are leaving. They've already left. They know it. Nigeria know it. That the Biafrans are gone already. Okay. Let's listen to this gorgeous guy.
To this unjust oppression. Centuries of misery, human trafficking, colonization, and neocolonization have caused immeasurable suffering. It's time to put an end to this cycle of oppression. It's high time for France to leave us alone.
Did you not hear them when they were having their conference? That they want Africa to remain poor? Okay. We should be doing all the dirty jobs for them? Okay. They want Africa to be poor. And my African gorgeous guys, after watching all this, my God, after watching all this, it's enough that they are treating us the way they are treating us, and we are feeling, we are pretending to be fine by it. Not when they come again, vehemently told us to our faces that they want Africa to remain poor. My God. They print your money in Italy. They send it to the African country. They tell us how to use their own money in our own country. Wow, actually, what a slap. I am crying, I'm not laughing. I am. Can see how I'm looking this evening. I am crying, I'm not laughing. I saw this guy, I listened. I said, no. These are the manner of people that we are looking at, we are expecting. Our young lad should be up and doing, not chasing over things on skirts. Not chasing over things on skirts. Fight for your country. Okay, and the skirts will come looking for the trousers. I'm telling you, fight for your country. if Chief Tremazen Namodi Okukano comes out and say he wants to marry 20 billion women, you think they will not accept? If the finisher Mazi Samuel Ekpa, billions of women are there. But what is he focusing on? To liberate his people. Okay, be a man of authority. You need not to toast any woman. The women will come for you. The skirts will look for the trousers. Responsible and reasonable trousers. Okay. Such as the like of Chief Tremazen Namodi Okukano, such as the likes of the finisher Simon Ekpa Njoko, such as this gallant guy. Okay. Let's listen to this guy.
It's time for France to take a cue from its European neighbors and learn.
It's time for the United Kingdom to leave Nigeria alone. Okay, it is time for the United Kingdom to leave Nigeria territory alone.
A valuable lesson in independence. Germany is the leading economic power in Europe, significantly surpassing France, which is ranked as the 3rd or 4th largest economic power globally. Germany does not exploit any country, any colony. I can mention Italy, I can mention Spain, who had colonies before, but who do not exploit anyone, who do not interfere, who do not impose leaders in their former colonies.
I'm telling you.
On what grounds does France believe it can continue to impose leaders on us and make choices on our behalf?
Was it not how we saw? Was it not how we saw lads? A young, small lad coming back from school in United Kingdom. And some, oh my God. Some untrained children accosted this African boy from school and asked this boy to kiss his shoe. Africans, wake up. This is what they are teaching their children. This is what they are teaching their children. That you, as an African person, you want nothing. That they feed you and feed your parents. They were coming back from school. This African boy looked left, looked right. He was alone. Passerbys were all white. Those kids were up to 3 or 4. One of them, while the others were laughing, chanting their brother up. While the idiot was telling the African boy to kiss his shoe at this jet age. And you want us not to be annoyed. This is what they are teaching their children. When they see you as an African, you are nobody. Yet they came to your own continent. You gave them all the privileges. You put them in a high position that they do not even merit in their own countries. Continue, sweethearts.
This must come to an end. And the emerging Africa, the African youth, the African elites, and the African diaspora all stand united in saying no, it cannot continue to end to this unjust oppression.
That is why they are looking for the finisher. That is why they are still holding Chief Tremazen Namodi. What did they do to Bob Marley? What did they do to Bob Marley? What did they do to Gaddafi? What did they do to those?
Centuries of misery, human trafficking, colonization, and neocolonization have caused immeasurable suffering. It's time to put an end to this cycle of oppression. It's high time for France to leave us alone. It's time for France to take a cue from its European neighbors and learn a valuable lesson in independence. Germany is the leading economic power in Europe, significantly surpassing France, which is ranked as the third or fourth largest economic power globally. Germany does not exploit any country, any colony. I can mention Italy, I can mention Spain, who had colonies before, but who do not exploit anyone, who do not interfere, who do not impose leaders in their former colonies. On what grounds does France believe it can continue to impose leaders on us and make choices on our behalf? This must come to an end. And the emerging Africa, the African youth, the African elites, and the African diaspora all stand united in saying no, it cannot continue any longer. France's hypocrisy is evident and pervasive in daily life. Let's examine the cases of Mali and Chad as prime examples of this hypocrisy. In Chad, where the constitutional process has been interrupted, France applauded and its president visited to officially consecrate the new king's coronation ceremony. In Mali, where it is not the constitutional process that has been interrupted, but the transition process, France has condemned and even packed up its things to say that it is leaving Mali. That's hypocrisy. It's the double standard. It is the double language that France employs in its dealings with Africa. During our questioning of Mr. Jean-Yves Le Drian regarding the situation in Ivory Coast and France's decision to allow a third term, he provided a clear explanation. He stated that while he accepted the third term for Ouattara, he refuses it for Belarus. He emphasized that France has condemned the situation in Belarus and has...
Zum Beispiel, that is for example, Den Haag. Who goes to Den Haag? All African presidents, African politicians. They are the ones that have been judged there in Den Haag. Pinpoint to me one white man that have stood there on the dock. Tell me, it is always Africans, always Africans. Okay. Africans. They come to Den Haag. That is the one that didn't buy their eye there. The one that bought to their criminalities. The one that gives them all the mineral resources emanating from Africa. The one that gives to them. Don't go to Den Haag. But if you think you are stubborn, you go to Den Haag. Do you understand me? Africa does not have, a judicial...
Hello, my wonderful people. As we have finished watching this interesting video, please, I want to see your comment, your contribution, your opinion in the comment section. Like I said earlier, let us do it constructively. Tell me what you think about this video that you have just watched, and also about the platform. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please remember to subscribe, put on your notification bell, share this video, and remain blessed.